Good morning. Welcome to Reading Through the Bible with Reverend Hill, the Ark of the Covenant Ministry, starting with Deuteronomy chapter 9. Hear, O Israel, thou art to pass over Jordan this day, to go in to possess nations greater and mightier than thyself, cities great and fenced up to heaven, a people great and tall, the children of the Achans, whom thou knowest, and whom thou hast heard say, who can stand before the children of Ach? Understand, therefore, this day that the Lord thy God is he which goeth over before thee as a consuming fire. He shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before thy face. So shalt thou drive them out and destroy them quickly, as the Lord hath said unto thee. Speak not thou in thy heart, after that the Lord thy God has cast them out from before thee, saying, for my righteousness the Lord hath brought me in to possess this land, but for the wickedness of this nation the Lord doth drive them out from before thee, not for thy righteousness or for the uprightness of thy heart dost thou go to possess their land, but for the wickedness of this nation the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee, and that he may perform the word which the Lord sware unto the fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Understand, therefore, that the Lord thy God giveth thee not this good land to possess for thy righteousness, for thou art a stiff-necked people. Remember and forget not how thou provoked the Lord thy God to wrath in the wilderness from the day that thou didst depart out of the land of Egypt until ye came unto this place. Ye have been rebellious against the Lord. Also in Horeb ye provoked the Lord to wrath, so that the Lord was angry with you to have destroyed you. When I was gone up into the mount to receive the tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant which the Lord made with you, then I abode in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. I neither did eat bread nor drink water, and the Lord delivered unto me two tables of stones written with the finger of God, and on them was written according to all the words which the Lord spake with you in Mount out of the midst of the fire in the days of the assembly. And it came to pass at the end of the 40 days and 40 nights that the Lord gave me two tablets of stone, even the tables of the covenant. And the Lord said unto me, arise, get thee down quickly from hence, for thy people which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They are quickly turned aside out the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten image. Furthermore, the Lord spake unto me, saying, I have seen this people, and behold, it is stiff-necked people. Let me alone, that I may destroy them and blot out their names from them, and blot out their name from under heaven, and I will make of thee a nation mightier and greater than they. So I turned and came down from the mount, and the mount burned with fire, and the two tables of the covenant were in my two hands. And I looked, and behold, ye had sinned against the Lord your God, and had made a molten calf. Ye had turned aside quickly out of the way which the Lord had commanded you. And I took the two tables and cast them out of my two hands and break them before you. And I fell down before the Lord as at the first 40 days and 40 nights. I did neither eat bread nor drink water, because of all your sins which ye sinned in doing wickedly in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure wherewith the Lord was wroth against you to destroy you. But the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also. And the Lord was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him. And I prayed for Aaron also the same time. And I took you your sin, the calf which ye had made, and burnt it with fire, and stamped it, and ground it very small, even until it was as small as dust. And I cast the dust thereof into the brook, and descended out of the mount, and to Tabra, and Massa, and Kimbra, Hasva, ye provoked the Lord to wrath. Likewise, when the Lord sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, Go up and possess the land which I have given you, then you rebelled against the commandment of the Lord your God, and ye believed him not, nor hearkened to his voice. Ye have been rebellious against the Lord from the day that I knew you. Thus I fell down before the Lord 40 days, 40 nights, as I fell down at the first, because the Lord had said he would destroy you. I prayed therefore unto the Lord, and said, O Lord God, destroy not thy people and thy inheritance, which thou hast redeemed through thy greatness, which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember thy servant Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look not unto the stubbornness of this people, nor to their wickedness, nor to their sin, lest the land whence thou brought us out say, because the Lord was not able to bring them into the land which he promised them, and because he hated them. He has brought them out to slay them in the wilderness. Yet they are thy people and thy inheritance, which thou brought out by the mighty power and by thy stretched out arm. Deuteronomy chapter 10. At that time the Lord said unto me, hew thee 2 tablets of stone like unto the first, and come up unto me into the mount, and make thee an ark of wood, and I will write on the tables the words that were in the first tables, which thou breakest, and thou shalt put them in the ark. And I made an ark of shittim wood, and hewed 2 tables of stones like unto the first, and went up into the mount, having 2 tables in my hand. And he wrought on the tables according to the first writing the 10 Commandments, which the Lord spake unto you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly, and the Lord gave them unto me. And I turned myself and of the children of Jechem to Masra. There Aaron died, and he was buried, and Eleazar his son ministered Judah, and forth Judah to Jothbah, and a land of rivers of waters. At the time the Lord separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before the Lord, to minister unto him, and to bless in his name unto this day. Wherefore Levi had no part nor inheritance with the brethren. The Lord is his inheritance according as the Lord thy God promised him. And I stayed in the mount according to the first time 40 days and 40 nights, and the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also, and the Lord would not destroy thee. And the Lord said unto me, arise, take thy journey before thy people, that they may go in and possess the land which I swear unto thy fathers to give unto them. And now, Israel, what thou the Lord thy God required of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good. Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Lord, thy God, the earth also with all that therein is. Only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people, as it is this day. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be in no more stiff necked. For the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, a great God, a mighty and terrible, which regardeth no person nor taketh reward. He doeth execute the judgment of the fatherless and widow, and loveth the stranger in giving him food and raiment. Love ye therefore the stranger, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God, him shalt thou serve, and him shalt thou cleave and swear by his name. He is thou praise, and he is thou God. Thou hast done for thee these great and terrible things which thy eyes have seen. Thy father went down into Egypt with 60 persons, and now the Lord thy God has made thee as the stars of heaven for multitude. Deuteronomy chapter 11. Therefore, thou shalt love the Lord thy God and keep his charge and his statutes and his judgment and his commandments always. And know ye this day, for I speak not with your children, which have not known and which have not seen the chastisement of the Lord your God, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm, and his miracles, and his acts, which he did in the midst of Egypt unto Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and unto all his land, and what he did unto the army of Egypt, unto their horses and to their chariots, how he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how the Lord has destroyed them unto this day, and what he did unto you in the wilderness until ye came into this place, and what he did unto Dathan and Abiram and sons of Elah, the son of Reuben, how the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their household, and their tents, and all the substance that was in their possession in the midst of all Israel. But your eyes have seen all the great acts of the Lord, which he did. Therefore shall ye keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that ye may be strong and go in and possess the land, whether ye go to possess it, and that ye may prolong your days in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give unto them and to their seed, a land that floweth with milk and honey. For the land whether thou goest in to possess it is in as the land of Egypt, from whence ye came out, where thou sowest thy seed and waterest it with thy foot as a garden of herbs. But the land, whether ye go to possess it, is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven, a land which the Lord thy God careth, for the eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land, in its due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn and thy wine and thy oil. I will send grass in the fields for thy cattle, that thou mayest eat and be full. Take heed to yourselves that you that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them, and then the Lord wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heavens, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, and lest ye perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord giveth you. Therefore shall ye lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as a frontlet between your eyes. And ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt write them upon thy doorposts of thy house and upon thy gates, thou that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. For if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you to do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him, then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess great nations and mightier than yourselves. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours. For the wilderness of Lebanon, from the river of Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea, shall your coast be. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that ye shall dread upon, as he hath said unto you. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day, and a curse if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known. And it shall come to pass, when the Lord thy God has brought thee in unto the land whither thou goest to possess it, that thou shalt put the blessing upon Mount Gerizim and the curse upon Mount Ebal. Are they not on the other side Jordan, by the way where the sun goeth down, in the land of the Canaanites, which dwell in the campaign over against Gilgal, beside the plains of Morin? For ye shall pass over Jordan to go in the possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you and ye shall possess it and dwell therein. And ye shall observe to do all the statutes and judgments which I set before you this day. Deuteronomy chapter 12. These are the statutes and judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land which the Lord God of thy fathers given thee to possess it all the days that ye live upon the earth. Ye shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their gods upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green tree. Destroy the names of them out of their places. Ye shall not do so unto the Lord your God, but unto the place which the Lord your God shall choose out of all your tribes, and put his name there, even unto his having your burnt offerings and your sacrifices and your tithes of heave offerings and your hand and your vows and your free will offerings and your firstlings of your herds and your flocks. And there ye shall eat before the Lord your God, and ye shall rejoice in all that ye put your hands unto, ye and your household, wherein the Lord thy God hath blessed thee. Ye shall not do after all the things that we do there this day, every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes, for ye are not as yet come to the rest and into the inheritance which the Lord your God giveth you. But when ye go over Jordan and dwell in the land which the Lord your God giveth you and inherit, and when he giveth you rest from all your enemies round about, so that ye dwell safe, then there shall be a place which the Lord your God shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. Thither shall ye bring all I command you, your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, your tithes and your heave offerings and your hand of your hand, and all your choice vows which ye vow unto the Lord. And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God, and ye and your sons and your daughters, and your men servants and your maid servants, and the Levites, and that is within your gates, for as much as he has no part, no inheritance with you. Take heed to thyself that thou offer not thy burnt offerings in every place that thou seest, but in the place which the Lord shall choose in one of thy tribes. There thou shalt offer thy burnt offerings, and there shall do all that I command thee. Nevertheless, thou mayest kill and eat flesh in all thy gates, whatsoever thy soul lusts after, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he has given thee. The unclean and the clean may eat thereof, and the roebuck, and as the hart. Only ye shall not eat the blood, ye shall pour it upon the earth as water. Thou mayest not eat within thy gate the tithe of the corn, or thy wine, or thy oil, or thy firstling of thy herd, or of thy flock, nor any of thy vows which thou vowest, nor thy free will offering, or heave offering of thy hand. But thou must eat them before the Lord thy God in the place which the Lord thy God shall choose, thou and thy sons and thy daughters and thy manservants and thy maidservants and the Levites that is within the gates, and thou shalt rejoice before the Lord thy God in all that thou puttest thy hands unto. Take heed to thyself that thou forsake not the Levites as long as thou livest upon the earth. When the Lord thy God shall enlarge thy borders as he has promised thee, and thou shalt say, I will eat flesh because thy soul longeth to eat flesh. Thou mayest eat flesh whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, if the place which the Lord thy God has chosen to put his name there be too far from thee, then thou shalt kill of thy herd and of thy flock, which the Lord has given thee as have commanded thee, and thou shalt eat in the gates whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, even as the roebuck and the hart is eaten, so thou shalt eat them, the unclean and the clean shall eat of them alike. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. Thou shalt not eat it, thou shalt pour it upon the earth as water. Thou shalt not eat it, that it may go well with thee and with thy children after thee, when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord. Only thy holy thing which thou hast and thou vows, thou shalt take and go unto the place which the Lord shall choose. And thou shalt offer the burnt offering, the flesh and the blood upon the altar, and the Lord thy God and the blood of thy sacrifice shall be poured out upon the altar of the Lord thy God, and thou shalt eat the flesh. Observe and hear all these words which I command thee, that it may go well with thee and with thy children after thee forever, when thou doest that which is good and right in the sight of the Lord thy God. When the Lord thy God shall cut off the nation from before thee, whether you goest and possess them, and thou succeedest them and dwell in their land. Take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them after that they be destroyed from before thee, that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God, for every abomination to the Lord which he hated have they done unto their God. For even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their God. What thing soever I command you, observe to do, if thou shalt not add thereto, nor diminish from it. Deuteronomy chapter 13. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and given thee a sign or a wonder, and a sign or a wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God proveth you to know whether you love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul. Ye shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him and cleave unto him. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which the Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in, to walk in, so shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or the son of thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thy own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy father, namely of the gods of the people which are round about you, nay, unto thee, or far off from thee, from the one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth, thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thy eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely kill him. Thy hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people, and thou shalt stone him with stones, and he died, because he has sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. And all Israel hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among, if thou shalt hear say in one of thy cities, which the Lord thy God has given thee to dwell there, saying, certain men, the